history. But first, a franchise desperate to redefine will have to do it without their head coach. How will these stories end? You're in the right place. This is NFL Total Access. Welcome into NFL Total Access. I'm your host, MJ Acosta-Ruiz. We have a Hall of Famer and two Super Bowl winning front office executives on the show tonight. LaDainian Tomlinson and Brian Billick, as well as Scott Pioli, all here to talk it through and set the table ahead of Super Wildcard Weekend. We'll also hit on the latest on the fallout in Philly, and Jerry Jones opens up about what's next for the Cowboys. But we'll start with the news of COVID-19 concerns in Cleveland. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski will not coach the team's first playoff game in 18 years. Stefanski, along with two coaches and two players, tested positive for COVID. Mike Garafolo coming in here now. Mike, how's the team handling all of this?
Trying their best to plow their way through this one, MJ. You know, the Browns finally make the playoffs, and then this hits. The two players put on the COVID-19 list, Kadarrell Hodge and Joel Bitonio. I mean, there was so much talk about Bitonio fighting through his career, making it to the playoffs, and now he will not be available for this game, the guard for this team, and everything he means to that offensive line. So they're going to try their best to work their way through with Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator, wind up being the one that's going to call the plays. And, you know, you lose your head coach and your offensive play caller by losing Kevin Stefanski in this one. So that is a double blow for the Browns here. Now, Van Pelt has called plays before with the Bills back in 2008, as well as in training camp this season. Kevin Stefanski did let Van Pelt call some plays. He was supposed to call them during the preseason, but there was no preseason, so at least they did a little bit of preparation for this as Stefanski was trying to figure out what the flow should be. He's also been involved. He's run the offensive meetings, so it's not like you've got a complete stranger stepping in and being the play caller. But this is obviously tough for the Browns, who are hoping that Denzel Ward, their young corner, will come off the COVID-19 list and be available for this game. I guess that's the one little glimmer of hope here for Cleveland.
Mike, is there any chance this game gets moved or postponed at all?
Not as of right now, MJ. And last week, when the NFL was talking about this, their chief medical officer, Alan Sills, was talking about how the positivity rate in Cuyahoga County was so high, and they believed that all these positives were coming from outside the building, that it wasn't spreading inside the building. Well, now you've got 5 positives in one day, so this does bear watching. But as we sit here right now, this game is still on as scheduled and expected to be played as scheduled, but stay tuned the entire week to see how this goes for the Cleveland Browns.
Unreal. All right, Mike Garafolo, thank you. We'll also have more on this story later in the show from Aditi Kinkhabwala. She is covering this game, and she's got some strong reaction from the Browns players. Okay, Mike, thanks. Let's bring in Coach Billick and LaDainian Tomlinson to this conversation. Coach, I want to start with you. I mean, there's a myriad of reasons why this is a gut punch to the Browns. What is your perspective here on what this team is going to have to battle through now without their head coach?
Yeah, only the Browns, right? You finally get into the playoffs after 18 years. Oh, by the way, your head coach and primary play caller isn't going to be a part of it. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Now, he's going to be involved during the course of the week. So the crafting of the game plan, and yes, Baker Mayfield to have a different rhythm, someone else calling the plays, can be an issue. But let me give you some positives here. The players may very well take on the mantle of, okay, we can do this. As our friend Mike Robinson always says, this is a game of Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. It's about the guys that are on the field. Plus, for the Pittsburgh Steelers now, they're going to face a coordinator. I mean, they played the Cleveland Browns twice. You get a sense on play calling and who you're facing. I'm talking about as the defensive side for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're now going to have to kind of start anew. What is the difference? What is the different fingerprint? What is the different pacing? What are the different calls in critical situation from Alex Van Pelt compared to Kevin Stefanski? So, you know, I'm going to